Breaking news out of Mexico. Paul and Christy are out of Mexico. This has finally happened. This Michigan couple held for 32 days at a maximum security prison in Cancun, a resort town. All of it over a timeshare dispute. They're in the air. They're flying home as we speak. If you've been following the coverage, you know that they flew to Cancun on vacation last month and were promptly arrested at the airport. Their alleged crime, having been mired in what looks like a civil dispute with a high-end hotel chain called the Palace Resorts. Let me repeat that. A timeshare contract dispute landed this American couple in a maximum security prison in Mexico for a month. It took a freshman U.S. congressman from Michigan and a top hostage negotiator from the Trump administration to spring the Akeos from that hellhole. And I do mean hellhole. The toilets didn't flush. The food was inedible, they said. Cells were overcrowded, and fellow inmates were rapists and murderers. The Akeos lost about 30 pounds each, according to friends who saw pictures of them yesterday with the congressman. Representative Tom Barrett flew to Cancun yesterday and met with them in that crumbling prison, he said. But he also met with Mexican officials. And back here at home, Adam Bowler, that hostage negotiator, was also working the phones. And early this evening, after a long and drawn-out court hearing, that congressman escorted Paul and Christy Akeo out of the Mexican custody they'd been in, and we have the exclusive video for you. Let's play it.
Where's Wyatt? There he is. Wyatt!
Yeah, I don't know who Ryan is, but I want to play this again.
Oh my God. Thank you. Where's Wyatt? There he is. Wyatt!
So they also, when they sent us these pictures, they sent us some other ones too from inside the court process that sprung them earlier this evening. So let's take those still shots because I want to describe something here. You can see Paul and Christy Akeo sitting at the table. They're wearing the white prison T-shirts, and they are signing some papers. So Paul is standing next to the wall in the white T-shirt. Christy is sitting in front of him, okay? And then behind them on his phone in the green T-shirt, that is the congressman. That's Representative Tom Barrett. And it was not but a hot minute once those papers were signed that the Akeos and the congressman were racing off to the airport in Cancun, where, like you saw at the top of the show, that jet was waiting on the tarmac. And I want to play that video up full for you as well. Take a look. So let's play that again, because I want you to see as they walk up, you can see they're wearing the prison clothing that they've been forced to wear in that prison, including the slides. Don't know if they even got their luggage, because when they were arrested, they had, you know, pull suitcases, right, in the airport. But I don't know if they even got their things or they just ran, because that's what many people would do. You get out of a penitentiary, you are making for the airport, leave whatever it is behind. But they're wearing their jail clothes and the jail slides, getting on that jet. It's unbelievable. Next stop, Michigan. And since they just took off about an hour and a half ago, I'm doing the math on what the flight is. They could be landing on terra firma around 11:30, maybe midnight Eastern time tonight. So we're going to watch for that as well. And I want to welcome back to this program Mallory Wilson. She is a close friend of the Akeo family. She got that text I read at the top of the show. She's very, very close with their daughter, Lindsay. They're lifelong best friends. You know, this is breaking news, Mallory. I didn't even know that this was your text chain. I had to get that confirmed live on the air. I can't even imagine what you're going through. Tell me.
It's been a day. I mean, 24 hours ago, sitting here, I did not think that this is the situation we would be in. I'm elated to finally share that they're coming home. And I think I had a little stroke. Like when I saw Christy's name come up on my phone, I was not anticipating hearing from her. Like, what? You just got out of prison and you're texting me? That's crazy. But it was so comforting to know, like, from her own mouth, they are getting on a plane and they're coming home.
Mallory, had you seen these pictures before I aired them, of them coming out of the prison doors?
No, the only video I saw was the one of them getting on the plane, and I can't believe it.
You were on the show with me last night, and all you could look at was a photograph of them sitting at a table with the congressman, and that was a huge breakthrough in this impasse, that they were able to actually see each other for the first time in a month, and then be able to sit across the table from the congressman. And I think what you said to me last night was that you thought they had lost about 30 pounds, that they looked very, very thin after a month in custody. Now you can see that other video of them walking through the doors, being let out of the prison. What's your take on how they look?
They definitely have lost weight. I mean, I feel like their muscle mass is smaller, like they just look like kind of shells of themselves. I think more so yesterday in that picture, they were clearly in a high stress situation, and they're obviously a lot happier now in this video, so that's nice to see.
Do you have any idea who Ryan is, who they were yelling? Ryan, they were so happy to see Ryan, and the video cut off right as she was about to hug Ryan.
I don't. I'm wondering if it's someone from Representative Barrett's team who was helping and working so tirelessly to get them home. I have to say he's the only local congressperson or local lawmaker in Michigan who from day one responded, called the family, and he actually did what he said he was going to do. So I'm impressed. I am so impressed.
So I'm wondering if they've had a chance to call their daughter, Lindsay, or their son. I mean, did they, before they, listen, I know they want to be airborne as fast as possible, and I get it. I would want to be airborne as fast as possible, too. But were there any phone calls home? Did they tell the family anything?
Absolutely, there were phone calls. You know, they were letting them know they're going to be on the plane. Meet us at the airport. We can't wait to see you. Just excited to be together. They're focused on, you know, being together for the first time in over a month. And, you know, Lindsay's brother doesn't live in Michigan, so he's driving up to the airport from Northwest Indiana just to be able to see his mom and hug her and his stepdad, and it'll be an emotional reunion, I'm sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. Did you get an ETA? I was just doing the math on a flight from Cancun to, and I think they're going to Lansing. Is that right? Lansing, Michigan? That's where they're landing?
Yeah, they're going to Lansing. I think between midnight and 1 a.m. they're supposed to arrive.
It's a long flight. It's longer than you think. They also listed a lot of people. They said that there was Adam Bowler, a hostage negotiator. Did you know about a hostage negotiator who'd been working on this?
I did. Yeah, I knew yesterday at some point that Trump and Bowler had reached out to the lawyers working on this case, and they were helping Representative Barrett in his negotiations the last 24 hours plus, I guess, since he got there yesterday morning. So they've been instrumental in getting them home, and we thank them as well.
Mallory, do you know what did it? Like, there was a lot of conversation that the Palace Resorts had said, give us our $100,000 or so, and you could be free to go any moment, which I just cannot imagine. In this country, there would never be a situation whereby a business could demand money in order for the government to free someone from a government prison. But do you know if this was a shakedown? Did they have to pay money in order to get out of prison?
I don't know the details. I know the negotiations were lengthy. Most of the day. And then, of course, they had to go to court where the charges were formally dropped. So, you know, it's been a long day for them on top of a long month. So I don't know the details. I'm sure they will be made public in the coming days, but I don't know. We're just excited that they're coming home.
What else did you find out about this process that I'm not asking and that the rest of us don't know?
I mean, it was a lengthy process, and it was really just what can we do to get them home. And so I know that they, you know, sorry, it's very overwhelming. And so it's been a lot of conversations and back and forth, and there was, you know, more negotiating than probably should have been done, but thanks to Representative Barrett, he got it done.
Yeah, I'll say, what a hero. He just flew down yesterday, and look at these pictures.
I know.
That guy's got he's got a campaign video for himself, right? Holy Dinah.
No kidding.
Mallory, thank you very much. I really appreciate you helping us sort of sort through a breaking story, you know, as it's happening. And, you know, just text us if you hear something. Let us know as we're on the air, another 45 minutes. We'd love to be able to bring our viewers any updates if you hear them from Lindsay or her brother. Thanks so much, Mallory. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And best to you and the family as they have this homecoming. I want to welcome back Dick Atkins. He's an attorney who specializes in helping Americans with legal troubles overseas. Wow. Dick Atkins, what a development. I mean, we just talked a few nights ago, and we did not expect that this was going to be the outcome so quickly. Just give me your reaction to these videos you're seeing.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm thrilled for the family. It's sort of unprecedented, but things like this have happened before. And we don't know for sure what actually happened. My guess is that as a result of the negotiations, they may have signed over their property, their timeshare, which was worth probably over $100,000, and that Palace Hotel got it back, and they were anxious to get this over with too, because it was bad news for them. That's what I think happened, but we don't know.
Well, I can imagine that the property wasn't even the issue. I think Palace wanted them to pay tens of thousands of dollars in order to get their freedom. I mean, it was that simple. And I'm paraphrasing here, but we may drop the charges if you pay and promise to apologize publicly and do all these things. So who knows what these negotiations were. I do want to ask you about the video we're seeing. They are in their prison clothes, Dick. They left that courthouse. They got into a speeding car with the congressman, and they raced for the Cancun airport. And we know this because we were in text communication with them and the congressman's office throughout that process, and there were calls being dropped, which is why we couldn't get them on the phone as they were speeding through Cancun to that airport. Does this surprise you to see that they were in such a hurry to get to that jet that they didn't even change clothes? They went in prison clothes?
I think they were slower than what most people would have done. They were so anxious to get out, and that might have been their only available clothes. Those were their own clothes. That wasn't prison-issued clothes, and they couldn't think more about spending any additional time there. They wanted to get out as quickly as possible. That's what happens. People want to get out. If they were wearing underwear, they would have jumped out and ran as quickly as they could. They don't want this to have any chance of being turned back or being reneged on.
Can I ask you this? The moment they had to go through customs, Dick, they had to still, after this moment of them coming out of the prison doors, they still had to go through immigration, customs and immigration, and leave the country. And I know that you have had clients who've been in this boat where you are free, but you are still on their soil. How frightening and tense is this time when you're clearing out of the country that's held you before you are actually in the air?
It's extremely fraught with difficulty and fear because anything can happen. Somebody can change her or his mind. Somebody higher up could have said no. They could have nixed it. They could have been put back in prison. Anything could have happened. So that's why they were so anxious to get out and get through this and get on the plane. And it wasn't until they clear the airspace and were in international waters, over international waters, that they could feel safe and breathe a sigh of total relief.
I mean, talk about a sigh of relief. Mallory was almost crying a few moments ago, just trying to get her wits about her. You know, she received this incredible text from Christy, and it's so thin. I mean, you could tell they were in a real rush to get going and not stop, you know, and chit-chat. I want to ask you, Dick, though, a lot of people are watching right now, and full disclosure, I vacation in Cancun. It is one of my favorite places to go. And lo and behold, one of my favorite places was the Palace Resort. You know, I used to go to a Palace Resort. I'm not sure I will go back. I'm so gobsmacked by what happened in a business dispute and why Palace Resort would have gone to this length to call the police and have them locked up for 32 days. Is there a place among your clients and the work you've done that you know is least safe for Americans to travel, or a place where Americans think they are most safe and they are not?
Sure. Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands, Hawaii. Hawaii's a state, but those two, any territory of the United States is safe. You're not in a foreign country. And that's why a lot of people go there, and they're wonderful places. But people should not give up on going to Mexico. 36 million or more Americans travel there every year, and only less than 500 are officially arrested. It's less than 1/100th of 1%. It's virtually safe if you don't get involved in weird deals, and if you don't carry weapons or ammunition. And if you do, and you don't carry drugs around with you, the odds are even less, and you're going to have a great time. This is something that rarely happens, and I have a feeling that hotels after this will be more careful because there's no doubt they're going to lose business because of this.
Well, I mean, I am chastened. I actually considered that I went through one of those seminars on the timeshare with this exact resort chain. And I know a lot of friends who have timeshares with this resort chain, and I'm very nervous for them. And I am just sort of at wit's end as to why they would have done this. The media attention alone is such bad publicity, not just for Palace Resorts, but also Cancun, which is such a lovely place. And it is such a popular place for Americans. Do you have advice for people watching right now, other than don't carry ammunition and don't carry drugs? My ex-husband and my children and his wife, they went to Mexico, and they got in a car accident and found themselves locked up for a day in a police station before they had to pay payola to the officers to leave the station. What's your advice to people who want to take trips to these places?
Well, they were lucky that they didn't have to stay longer, and it didn't officially count as an arrest. Obey the law, know those few things I just talked about. Be very careful if you're driving, because any accident, as your daughter saw, could be dangerous, and just be on alert. And also, the big thing is just don't be out late at night and don't become a victim of an assault or of a robbery or anything like that. And use good judgment and be vigilant, and don't drink too much, because many of the things that happen to people that are bad are because they've been drinking too much. So with all those things, and you're careful, your chances of having an incident like this minimal.
Yeah, I think it's a cautionary tale about getting into business with anybody in Mexico, because if it goes sideways, it's not a civil affair, as we're recognizing here. This is so upsetting to see this, but also just so great to see them freed. Dick Atkins, I buried the lead on your intro. People should know that you worked with Billy Hayes, who, you know, was sort of the star character behind the Midnight Express movie that scared the dickens out of all of us, having been locked up in a Turkish prison for trying to travel with drugs. He had to escape. He didn't have the U.S. State Department come and rescue him and get him out. He literally escaped, and he's one of your clients. So, Dick, great advice. It's good to see you. I appreciate the info, and thanks for jumping on in this breaking news. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's a happy day for all of us.
I'll say, especially the Akeos. I can't wait to talk to them if I get the chance.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.